Thank you so much for having me. I just want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of your process and something that's so close to your heart. I am Shannon Ashlia, and I am the choreographer for the Janet Tribute for the Heartitude campaign.
Hello, hello. This is SuzieCoop again with Heartitude, and beside me I have the phenomenal Shannons Ashlia. I adore her. She's never going to understand how much I appreciate her. I just think she's phenomenal, and I'm so thankful that you're here today.
I first met Susan through email, actually, right in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
She emailed me, letting me know that she was in need of a choreographer for a Janet tribute. Now, as a dancer, when you are told that there's a Janet tribute, that's something that's obviously going to be really special because Janet is super special to dancers' hearts. So I was immediately excited and wanted to know more about the project and what she had in mind for me.
She answered my distress call and was very willing to help me put some choreography together for the show. And one of the things that I felt that was, you asked me who my favorite choreographer was, or is. And I said Bob Fosse. And at the time I didn't know she's taking these little notes, I explained to her what I want to do. I talked to her about what Heartitude's all about and how I want movement to promote longevity. I want to, inspire people my age. I let her know that, I'm an over 50 person. I'm not a dancer. I'm challenging myself to learn Janet Jackson choreography. And I chose Janet because of the degree of difficulty. There's a little bit of degree of difficulty there that I wanted to challenge myself. And Shannon said, great.
Doing a Janet tribute, like I said, it had to be challenging, but also, Susan, don't let her be modest. She says she's not a dancer, but she stepped up to the plate. When it is Janet, you have to step.
Absolutely.
You have to step, no matter what age you are, and she approached it with no fear. And I commend you, and I admire that. Because a lot of dancers, especially adults, don't have that. So when we decided to do this, she let me know she didn't have dancers, but I did. I had a lot of friends who, because of the pandemic, weren't able to perform live and were just looking for an opportunity and a stage. Yeah. So it was kind of the perfect match. It was kismet.
It was absolutely kismet. And, so in maybe 72 hours, I have a choreographer. She got back to me within about 24 hours. I had dancers. I just couldn't believe it. And she sent me a clip. She said, I'm going to send me some music, and I'm going to send you a clip, and I'm going to show you what my choreography looks like.
Initially, the first clip that I sent you, I wanted to have a mix between classic Janet choreography. You have to have that foundation, but I also wanted to insert a little bit of myself and my training, what I've gone through as a dancer. I think it's really important as a choreographer not to just regurgitate the things that you ingest, but to add your own little flavor on it. So it was really important to do that, and also keep in mind, that I am working with you and that you're not necessarily a dancer, but I know you're up for the challenge. Right. So with those things working, I kind of just let it flow out of me. And a lot of times when you're choreographing, if you think too hard, it comes out really hard. It comes out jumbled. So I really tried to just kind of let the universe guide me and to be openly creative to whatever came to me. And I kind of kept that same vein throughout the entire process. Just being really free and just letting it come to me without too much overthinking and too much overprocessing.
But still Janet-like. I wanted moves that people recognize, but then I wanted other new creative moves that are Janet-like. That even if Janet was looking, she might say, that was pretty, that's pretty bad. I kind of like that. So I have to say that when I went to the first rehearsal, I could not wait to get there. And you have a very amazing way of creating choreo, and I was astounded, choreography, and I was astounded. I mean, so what you do, your process, and I'll let you speak on this, you would come in with a segment, and then if we got beyond that segment, if we learned that and got beyond that segment, you wouldn't just say, okay, well, that's it for today. In your mind, you would create, we would move on, and I would watch you create these moves as you're listening to the music. And so this, what you're talking about, this feel that you have, and you let the uniperson, you would say that. And you would say, if you were pushing it too much, you'd say, no, I'm pushing that too much, let it flow. What would I do right here? And it was just amazing to watch that kind of creativity happen spontaneously like that. Like you're not coming in with a routine. We would get to a point and it would just seem like now you're in like a flow. You're in a zone. And I just thought that was amazing.
Well, just as you turn on the music in your car or turn on the music in your house and you freely move, choreography is a lot like that. And I like to keep it organic that way because a lot of times, like I said, now you can overanalyze and sometimes it doesn't read well. So a lot of times I just like to put on the music and let it flow.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even freestyle and record it and I say, okay, I want to take this little piece here that I did, I want to take this little piece. And you want to create a story. So if you have a story in mind that you want to tell with the movement, there are certain things that just make sense to come next. Just as you're telling a story in writing, the same thing applies to movement. Some things just make sense and I try not to force it, and that ended up really working for what we had going on.
Absolutely.
So.
And I'm telling you, I felt that. When I would go home and rehearse, that's how I knew if I was, maybe not doing the move the right way, because the moves make sense. Each time, and you would explain it to us, and I would remember that, okay, we're doing this move here, and if it felt awkward or wasn't doing it right, I would know it immediately because it doesn't make sense. And then after I started going, I started picking up your style and I hope that I started learning the moves even faster. But my point was I wasn't perfect. When I got in there, I knew I wasn't gonna, maybe be, it took me a while to learn the moves and get fluid with the moves, and you were very patient with me. But after a while, the moves became very fun. I was so motivated to learn the move. So how did you create some of these moves that we're doing?
Well, first, when you are doing something like a tribute, you always want to do your research. You always want to do your research. You don't want to come into it blindly just because we're paying homage to Janet. So that was really important to get that foundational knowledge. So whatever piece we were doing, whether it was Pleasure Principle or Black Cat, you always want to reference the video.
Absolutely.
We end up, and like you said, we see the finished products. We don't see everything that goes into it. We don't see all the research, all of the different influences that were placed on those movements. So it's a beautiful cycle with dance, and when taking inspiration from something, like I said before, you always want to add your little flavor to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I started with the research. I familiarized myself with some of the signature moves, and then I placed them in places that felt right and that felt natural with the groove. A lot of these moves are totally iconic, so they have to be in there. But the approach can be different, and I thought that it was really fun to find different approaches to things that everyone knows. And I think that when you do a tribute like that, I think it's really important to put your own spin on it And I think that's exactly what we did. I feel like we were successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you did an amazing job. I started dancing at the age of 4 years old. And dance has been a constant in my life. So as I was doing other things, piano, clarinet, gymnastics, dance was always that foundation. Dance always helped me prioritize my life, and it's cathartic. Anytime you have any emotions that are lingering, dance really helps with that. They help you express them. And that was something that I realized at a very young age that I would always do. So once I graduated from Howard University, I realized that though I did want to go into journalism, I didn't want to give up dance. So I began to teach in the area, in the DMV area. And a decade later, you know, I have several competition teams that I choreograph for. I am a professional dancer. I made the transition to dance professionally, and it was probably the best decision that I ever made. I have toured the world, and dance has given me pretty much everything. And I find that no matter what new endeavor I step towards in my life, dance will always be that constant. And it's really reassuring. It also obviously keeps you in shape.
Absolutely.
And dance really inspires me to take care of my body and to eat right. It's kind of like a chain effect. You know, you exercise, you want to eat right, you want to do something that's going to fuel your body appropriately for that. So dance is like a win-win. And I know a lot of people who prefer dance as a workout because it distracts you.
And it's fun.
And it's fun. It distracts you from the work, and it puts an emphasis on the fun.
It does. And you know, the thing about the Heartitude whole movement is about that. It's fun to dance. Just getting up and moving, it's so fun and so beneficial, because the time that I spent with you from the day I started, I've lost 30 pounds. My numbers are down. It forces me to eat differently, because I know when I come in there, I don't want to drag, you know? So I can't eat the same stuff that I would normally eat because it zaps my energy. So it elevates all of that. It elevates brain function, weight management, and I'm having fun, and I can't wait to get there. And you know, the Janet Jackson tribute show, I challenged myself to learn these moves. And it got, it's just like an exercise. When you first start to exercise, it takes you a while before you get the routine down. And then after a while, you get that routine down, you're ready for more degree of difficulty. So as we move forward, like I think we started with Love Will Never Do first.
Yes, Love Will Never Do.
Right, and Love Will Never Do is one of our, I guess you would call milder choreographed pieces. And then after that, we started elevating into more, you know, physicality there. And it just got to be so much fun. And I felt so revived when I left. And that is the inspiration I'm trying to give to other people who are my age and above.
What first drew me to this project was not only the Janet-ness of everything. Again, I must reiterate.
Exactly.
Janet
it is
for,
Janet Jackson
Janet for dancers.
Right.
Janet for dancers is like, you know, honey for bees.
Epitome, right?
It really, you know, was kind of a no-brainer, but also I have worked with all ages, and I truly believe that dancers are for life. Dancers are all ages, and there is no cap on what you can do.
Yes.
I think dance is for the spirit.
It is,
dance
at any age.
Yes, at any age, dance is not only great for you physically, it's great for you mentally, the retention, the memory, especially when you get into just an older age, you need to exercise your memory. You need to do these things every single day to keep
these
yourself.
Little exercises to spark your memory to remember these moves. Yeah, very important.
Yes, exactly. And not only that, working with older dancers is something that I truly enjoy. I find that as adults, we have so many more things in our way mentally. And I find that dance can remind us of that childlike, unbridled joy and that freedom.
Exactly.
And I think it's really important to instill that in our older population. I think that the joy that you feel when you're just dancing to your favorite song is what I always want to recreate.
We're trying to capture. Yeah.
Exactly, and we want to capture that. I think that in the past I've done adult classes, and those have been my favorite classes. I would take, there would be moms and grandmothers of the children that I would teach.
Yeah.
And
Wonderful.
I created a class from those amazing women and men, and I danced with them. I think that once you become an adult, to me, we're adults.
Yes.
So I don't look at it as you're this age and I'm this age. I look at it as more mental than anything. I think that dance is really like 90% mental, and I think that if we can overcome the hurdle of feeling uncomfortable, if we can overcome the hurdle of feeling like we're being looked at and seen, I think it can be an extremely magical thing. So I was really excited to get the opportunity to not only work with you, but also create an entire concert, which was something that I had never done. So I would definitely say I can check that off my bucket list. After doing the Janet tribute, it was such a pleasure, and the process was such a memorable experience.
Amazing. It was amazing. I'm never going to forget it. It was amazing. So Heartitude is a movement. It is a initiative to re-spark, revive, rejuvenate your awareness about your health and your heart. And for me, it was dancing. And I want to thank you, Shannon, so much for the choreography that you created for this show. It is absolutely amazing. I could not have asked for. I mean, it was just amazing. I have no words. I'm just speechless. I just thank you very much for being here. I thank you for being a part of it. And we are so thankful to have you.
Well, you're very welcome, and I also want to thank you for letting me be a part of something that is so important and that's pivotal to everyone. Everyone needs to get moving, and everyone needs to be aware of their heart health. And so I just want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be creative and to be free and to just direct this amazing concert, an amazing show. I couldn't have asked for a better situation. I couldn't have asked for a more memorable moment than the one you gave me. So thank you so much. And if you want to get some choreography, if you would like to take some classes, get in touch with you. Absolutely. You can go to my website, ShannonAshlia.com. That's ShannonAshlia.com. And my Instagram is Shannon_Ashlia. So hit me up, send me a DM, send me an email, and let's get moving.